Hey guys, welcome back to the ESL Vainglory Cup Series, Cup number 7, and we'll be bringing you now another semifinal. It wasn't supposed to happen. It was supposed to already be into the finals, but apparently someone messed up somewhere, and we'll be bringing you Collab up against Team HC, not NKN or whatever the hell it is on the website. For some reason, it magically changed after the quarters. Don't know what happened there.
I know, maybe they got bought from... maybe.
I'm not sure what happened. We can tell the picks can start. We do have a double Fortress ban again, expected out of all the teams. Though we haven't actually seen it out of every team, funny enough. We did see a Taka ban and a Julie ban.
Jewel?
Yeah, Jewel ban. Exactly. That's what I said. I didn't say anything different than that. And there we go. Into the picks. We will have Collab over on the blue side, and we'll have Team HC actually running someone else, someone new from their games earlier today. That bug is frustrating, even though we have Wi-Fi completely turned off on the tablet. And let's see what they do pick.
Nothing so far. We have a soft pick, which is Taka so far, and Catherine as well. No one else is picking, not even Collab. Normally Collab is going for like Fortress triple soft pick and then banning, then picking something else. Trying to.
So I heard you broke a tablet on stream once.
Yeah, I did.
How would you like to break a second?
It's keep crashing, by the way. It keeps crashing. No, not quite sure, because no one is picking. I hope they are not picking. It's just not. We are not in, because that would be not so good. 25 seconds left on the picking phase. Please pick. Please. Please. Else we have no vision. And the tablet might break. I can't, I don't know what you're going to do. But there we go. It's just them not picking. We have a Jewel.
It's a 2-minute delay on the stream, guys. You can't see what the other team's picked. All right? I don't understand.
Yeah, that's drama.
Drama?
Drama.
It's drama.
So, we have...
I can't tell if that was intentional or not. You mean drama? That was totally... You totally meant drama. You thought that's how you say drama in English. How do you say it in German?
As I said.
Drama?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
I just want you to improve my skills.
I thought you wanted me to punch you in the face, because that's what was close to happening. As we do get into the game, Collab again on the blue side, going with Jewel, Koshka, and Glaive. On the side Team HC is going to be Jewel, Catherine, and Taka. So a little bit of a difference in picks for both teams, but the double Kilojoule skin. Are you telling me to hit? I can't tell. You're like trying to... I don't understand.
What are you talking about?
You're making hand motions. I'll put us back on camera if you want me to show the people at home what you're doing.
I know what he's talking about. Whatever. We have a double Jewel lane, double book actually, as suspected. So it's going to be who hits the Thunder Strikes more frequently than his opponent in lane. And elsewise we have a double buddy jungle system as always, with Iraqi Zoro and Gabe Vessel on the one side, and Upfire actually. He did not play in the previous matches for Team HC with a Palmatore on Taka again. We saw that earlier on Team HC already. Gabe Vessel playing Glaive again, and a no Glaive on Team HC now. So, are you curious, what are you waiting on?
Nothing.
Oh, okay. Just we're going to ask you about Glaive, since you weren't sure about Best Celeste earlier, that that he basically did not do a big difference. That's scout traps though.
Yep, there are scout traps in that bush.
So is it or not?
Is it what?
Making a big difference?
I couldn't tell.
You could not?
Couldn't tell. No idea. They have to see more games. I mean, yeah, he did damage, but that's not the reason they won. The reason they won is because the enemy Koshka got caught out completely, and how are you going to defend with a support and an underfed laner? Well, no, a support and a jungler. There's just no way you're going to do that. And double stun going to be coming in, and this is a good fight out of Team HC. Iraqi Zoro, I think he's going to be the one to be focused down as Best Celeste does get stunned up. But there we go. Best Celeste picking up the first kill. Maybe looking for the second. Maybe looking for Gabe. His leap will be up in 10 seconds, so definitely not going to be up in time. He's taking a heavy amount of damage, but he's also forced them out of lane, or out of the jungle, which will allow his teammate Palmatore to pick up quite a bit of jungle away from them to deny them a lot of extra gold.
Interesting is actually that Best_LSU is not going for the crit build so far on Jewel, rather going for that crystal damage. So the red button, big red button, is going to be quite deathly late game. It's going to be interesting. We saw that once already in patch 1.4 in one of the ESL Cups, a double Jewel lane, one crystal and one on weapon, and we actually saw the weapon plate succeed over the crystal plate build. Crystal build, not a crystal blade. There's no such thing.
But what if there was?
A crystal blade?
Mm-hmm.
That would be amazing. I don't know.
All right, so Fuji sitting on, what, how much farm is that? 18 compared to 15, so a little bit of a lead, but then again, he's a giant wave shoving into the turret, so things should be evened out, and Best_LS actually should pull ahead if he does the last hit correctly.
Yeah, hit 2 there, lost 2 there, but yeah. Ooh. That's an odd choice to get a last hit actually with a rocket leap. And let's check Tribush. And actually Fuji, again, rotating perfectly down, and Best_LSU comes a bit late, but still early enough actually. Fuji's getting a bit of damage out there, and the first blood is Upfire here, the new member of Team HC. Somehow the first time I see him actually playing for Team HC. Irakizuru trying to get a bit more damage onto Palmatore since he's still sticking around, setting a scout trap down there. Oh, that's quite a lot of damage if Palmatore gets that, but since the recent patch we have 1.5 seconds delay until they are actually exploding. And I saw someone actually mentioning that that is way more, like, that is like this 1 millisecond, is it a millisecond? From 1.4 to 1.5? I saw that in a video and someone mentioned that that is actually a big thing.
Yeah, or the scout trap explosion time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually watching the East Asia one, East Asia tournament, and they were talking about that too. It's saying it was actually huge. I mean, count movement speed, a millisecond is actually quite a bit, and it allows you actually a lot of time to react. But Best_LS, if he gets jumped on, like that could be a guaranteed kill. But he's got Upfire there to help out. Go for a stun if he does need to. Expecting a gank actually on their end, since Best_LS is so low on health. But the rest of the team, again, just getting full control of the jungle. They're going to go...
Why though?
I feel like showing yourself there, showing Captain there, means the enemy team can invade on you.
Yeah, and that's what they're doing right now. I mean, what they're planning to do. That's like, because he couldn't get any picks of that, and just stunning Fuji here is like useless. And then show yourself, it's like, well, my jungle is alone, go, take our farm. Because I just want to get a stun out of Fuji, which is basically doing nothing. So, totally agree with that. Just recap what you said, basically.
Okay, so Collab, again, off to a slower start. Team HC doing a good job of that early engagement, but this might actually catch them off guard. You can see that all the amount of scout traps in that tri bush, the trap to the top side, to allow them full control, full vision. And Team HC is going to be able to do nothing about this, so they will pull ahead in gold. And Palmatore, oh, yeah, you better go back to lane. You might actually get caught out. Fuji going to take the long way around Araki. Actually going to back him up to allow him to go through the bush quicker. And you can see Team HC were just at the wrong place at the wrong time, and scout traps again just giving so much control to Collab. And this is, I think, what we saw at one of the first tournaments, the first cups, was that just a heavy investment of scout traps outright. But most teams, it seems like these days, aren't really too set in doing that anymore.
Yeah, and we still did not see one contraption, just to point that out, because we do see a lot of warding. It's mostly just one side who's doing it. By the way, there's Yummy Cat and Frenzy, and always getting followed up by a wonderful stun onto Palmatore. Palmatore is quite low. The big red button is doing so much damage. Fuji is going down in Best_LS.
Well, most importantly is that Best_LS's ultimate was interrupted and Fuji's wasn't, so you got a good amount of damage down, and it looks like Best_LS will be able to back away, so it'll be fine, but that's 2 kills that Collab really needed. Gives them about almost 1,000 gold difference too. And they're starting to build up a little bit of a lead. It's kind of what we expected of Collab, but then again, they're playing for America, have a little bit higher ping. Skill shots can be a little bit harder to hit, a little bit harder to react to, but I think once these jewels get powered up, it's going to be anyone's game. I don't know, like the Thunder Strikes, like they've obviously been changed around. The piercing has been cut in half, so it doesn't do as much damage, but We just seen some ridiculous plays out of that jump. Was not as far as he wanted, and
the second one was...
It was on him.
No, he went out of it instantly. After he fell down on the ground, he basically stepped towards them, so he really tiny.
Oh, so he dodged. Okay.
Yeah, dodged it really.
That was
really
interesting.
Close. That's not too easy to do.
So upfire equals Luke equals Shusei. Shusei?
What?
Shosei?
Where is
upfire equals Luke equals Shosei. I don't know. Do you know him?
I know.
Okay.
No.
I think people were just trying to like figure out who he was.
Okay, upfire is Shosei. Okay, he changed his name.
Okay. Shosei?
I don't know how to spell.
I don't know how to say it either. I'll just go with what you're saying.
It's a German one, but the name is not German. Shosei.
Okay. Well.
Okay, so yeah, then we saw him a couple of times. Like Luke played a couple of times for HC already.
I don't think I've seen him in. Was it in the Vainglory League stuff? Because I haven't seen him actually in the ESL stuff.
He played. No, not in ESL so far. No, he did not play on ESL so far. Just Vainglory League.
Oh, a nice prediction with the afterburn, but Bestless does get away from that one, and Gay Vizzle might actually have cost him his life, but they're not going to go for the re-engagement. Upfire doesn't have his ultimate just yet, so...
Yeah, that move just costed them a fountain, basically, that's all. So... Actually, Palmatoro engaging there into the gold miner. Nothing much Gabe Vizzle can do alone, but Fuji is connecting downwards, and there's again a minion candy getting popped by Team Collab onto the gold miner. The gold miner is doing so much damage to Upfire, actually. The big red button is connecting, but not doing quite much damage yet. And Bestless U is going to be...
Fuji is going to run around the corner. Will he check to his right, though? Or his left, technically, if we're watching an overview? Nah, well, it will be a little bit too late. But they defend the gold mine most importantly. But Araki needs to heal up, same as Fuji. They need to make sure they get healthy enough for when they come back. I mean, the gold mine won't be able to pay out until after they do have the potential to get there. But it looks like both teams are not really going to try to contest it this time. I think Team HC, after that fight, are just going to give up on it. We talked about this in the last game. Like, is it worth contesting the gold mine if you're not 100% sure you can win the fight and get it thereafter? Because it's such a big snowball against you.
The thing is, it was not as much timing for actually go with that gold mine. I mean, they pushed them back, but they saw that they pushed a fountain, so they probably knew that they are nearly full life again. They had no vision. I mean, there's no scout trap around the Kraken pit. Oh, there's one from Team HC, but that's not enough to actually see something in their tribush. There's another one, okay. But still not enough for actually getting enough vision to know if someone is going deep into their jungle, is farming right now. Are they only 2 members in range for the gold miner? And just basically not the smartest decision to go for that. And that's why they lost it.
Well, Palmatoro trying to go for the fight. I think the silence missed almost completely. Araki Zoro, he still has... Well, he doesn't have his ultimate up, but he's just trying to bide some time, just trying to escape this one. Fire the only one able to chase him. Won't really be able to do too much. Gold mine is soon to pay out, but it's still candied up. And I think Team HC are finally giving up on this. And actually, no, it did just recently pay out. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong way. And they're going to back off. They're going to just let this one go. And this is a lot of money. Was it 2,000 now for Collab in the lead? And that's starting to be reflected in items just a little bit. I think we're seeing both jewels build very similar paths, though. Sorry, no, we're not. No. Wow. I was looking at Palmatoro for some reason. We see a crystal jewel out of Best Celeste up against the weapon power out of Fuji. So this is what we've seen before. And it came down to a Koshka stun to allow the big red button to hit the entire person and to instantly kill them. But he doesn't have that, that range stun. You will have upfire to, potentially get in there, but with the reflex block, it's going to be very difficult to stop that.
I mean, basically, what Best Celeste has just 1 bullet in her gun. That's the big red button. If she's missing it, she's not that worth it for her team as Fuji is, because they're used to the wombo combos, right? If you think back to the original composition of Jewel, Celeste, and Glaive. Cool. Cool, sorry. Araki's over, though. He might get caught out here. He's going to try to bounce to Celeste. The stun comes in. He gets in lockdown permanently, but Fuji able to help him get away. The bigger button coming across the team. Fuji taking a heck of a lot of damage, and that did cost him 1 person already. Will it cost him more? Palmatoro trying to go in. Fuji is just 1 hit away. He will fall, and now Gay Vizzle, the last man. He will get knocked back into the turret, but it's going to cost him his life, and that's the ace coming in. Team HC, well done by them. Being behind over 2,000 gold, they pull it back to, I'd say, sub 1,000 easily after they get this turret. Yeah, if they're going for it. Because I thought for a second someone is going for the gold miner down there, but it looks like that Palmatoro tries to get the jungle farm, since that is quite a lot of gold there. Is doing the mini miner as well, which is 200 gold as well for their...
That's the second one they'd have.
Yeah. and an open turret actually. So
wow,
it's going to be pushing minions. I mean, you see how big those are, right?
Yeah.
Compared to nearly as big as Jewel. But still, the gold miner is still digging for Team Collab, and that's something which Team HC needs to force somehow in the next minute to 2 minutes, because they need that gold to actually really come ahead and get more items onto Jewel.
I gotta be careful, Palmator. Yeah, they're kind of waiting for Best to get his ultimate back online before they can force something like that, and they're sure as hell gonna need it. But he has a Shatter Glass done. Like, he has a lot of damage.
The question, like, if you're already mentioning the build of Best Celeste, he's sitting on 2 Eclipse Prisms, and the problem is, yeah, he needs to sell something. That's what he did. He sold, what did he sell? His book. He sold his book, so he has no health regenerations now. He needed to do that because I think he went for the how are they called? Eclipse Prisms, for the double Eclipse Prisms, because he wanted to have that extra crystal damage on his big red button early game instead of waiting until finishing another tier 3 item, and therefore he needed to actually sell something.
Yeah.
Still.
Okay. Well, gold mine's being started up. The ultimate's back, or are back online for both teams actually. And you can see the gold mine gonna get candy minioned up again, or minion candied up again. Palmator trying to go in for Iraqi Zoro, trying to force him back up fire. Able to lock down Fuji, but they don't really have the ultimate set up just yet. But here we go, Iraqi Zoro. Fuji taking a heavy chunk of it, but I don't know if that was enough. Iraqi is still alive, and the jump going to be coming back and out of Fuji. They pick up the first kill. Zoro, I think he's going to escape this one. He does dodge away from the jump out of Best Celeste, and Upfire is going to be able to actually clean him up, funny enough. And that's a 1-for-1 trade so far, but Upfire, Gabe, he's going to... No, he's not going to see him. He's just barely going to escape, and Best Celeste is going to get away as well. But the gold mine is still going to pay out.
Yep. This is 0 gold payout for Team HC so far out of the gold miner. So that works quite good for Fuji, Gabe Wizzle, and Iraqi Zoro so far, and Kraken is actually going to spawn.
I think that was miscommunication, because Upfire went in, he stunned Fuji, but Best Celeste didn't want to go for that one. And that, I think that could have cost the fight, actually, if they would have focused or stunned and that coordinated that a little bit better.
It's some kind of a pattern, actually, for HC so far, because always when they try to pick up the gold miner, they always lose their team fights. So just don't start it. There she is.
Just don't team fight.
No, but because they did good team fights without focusing gold miner first, but always... If they go for gold miner first, somehow they miscommunicate if they want to focus gold miner now, or if they want to focus Iraqi Zoro, or go on to Fuji. So
apparently Upfire used to be on Pew Pew Pew.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a German guild.
Okay. Was just double checking on that one. But it's weird to see that they're playing with him. I don't know. They had I can't remember the third person they had before, but they played a game that we casted where they didn't have him when they played against our red team too. So maybe he just kind of had to go and wasn't able to play this extra game.
Maybe. And I actually know for a fact that a lot of HC members are playing on NKN now, so this might be not a mistake on our side. Maybe they changed their team name. Okay,
well, I hope they checked with the admins before they did that, because that'll cause some confusion when it comes to points being given.
It was, by the way, Rocco Sefurdi.
Yeah, Rocco. Yeah, he was there earlier. There we go. 16 minutes in, Kraken not going to be started. Looks like Collab want to start for a push towards this top side to get themselves another turret, but they got to be a little bit careful. Or, sorry, to get them the first turret, as Team HC has already secured one themselves. But you see, both teams being very hesitant. Like, the goal difference isn't that much. And obviously you want a favorable fight, especially at this point in the game. Like, you don't want to lose a big fight 16 minutes in, because it'll cost you so much.
In the end, it's, by the way, another Shatter Glass for Best Celeste to use, so looking for even more crystal power, and has, well...
He's going for a third?
Crystal infusion is there as well. Just got popped, actually. Jumping in, a triple silence, a perfect big red button onto Fuji. He's just melting. Iraqi Zoro should be the next target to focus, because Gabe Wizzle is... yeah, just a tank. A perfect rocket leap coming in. Iraqi Zoro should fall. Gabe Wizzle uses his afterburn to actually escape. Kraken spawned. We saw that already 2 minutes ago. I'm not quite sure if they're going for it. It looks like just pushing the lane a bit. I mean, it's 20 seconds, 10 seconds. They should do it. There should be enough damage for them as soon as Palmator comes in.
Yeah, it's all on to Palmator to actually do the damage, because Best Celeste doesn't have any like auto attack damage. Doesn't have any real energy to work with either. As I think he just bought a bought a potion just to get a little extra energy in there. And there they go, picking up the Kraken on the first one of the game. They do have the lead in gold, in kills, in turrets. And in Krakens, but let's see if they can go for the push anywhere. They get the buff off that for the extra regen. And I think their cooldowns are almost up again, so they could go for another big fight.
So, just to mention that, we saw that when we had... I think Fuji played Glaive on lane with a breaking point. No, it was Best Celeste EU actually versus Red 2. And he forced the enemy team to buy Atlas of Pauldrons. And what Best Celeste EU did, he forced Fuji not to go to a second... Oh, nice Marcus Pursuit there. Yami can defense onto Paul Mataro. I'm going to finish that in a second. Big Red Button getting actually... Whoa, didn't even knew that was possible. Stunned out by Best Celeste EU. Iraqi Suru barely alive, rocket leaping in from Fuji perfectly, stunning 2 members of Team Collab. And Collab, oh man.
They can't afford to get ace. Palmatoro, can he pick up the kill? Upfire going to be going, and Palmatoro just barely going to escape. Looks like he will, but Gabe Vizzle, he should be able to get away from this.
Yeah, the problem was Upfire had no energy to actually get in Marcus Pursuit.
Are they really continuing to go for this? I mean, Gabe, he doesn't really have much damage. Yeah, he'll have his guaranteed crit, but...
No, he should not. Glaive could just afterburn over him. I don't know if that is worth to get that tower turret. There it is. Yeah.
Well, he gets the kill, but will it cost him more? Palmatoro going in for the turret instead. Upfire going to back away. He's got to escape this now, as people will be coming up in just a few seconds. But damage has been done. They got 2 turrets. They got 2 kills for only 1 death. That is a strong start, and that Kraken did a lot of damage to the last remaining turret too. So now you're kind of in a tough spot. You can't really leave your base too much, or they could backdoor you. You also... You can't lose another Kraken, or that's like a guaranteed loss. You can't lose another team fight, or that's a loss. This is a tough spot to come back from.
Agreed. So just to finish what I talked about before that team fight happened, actually Fuji got forced into a Crucible because he got actually stunned quite good by Best Celeste EU, and he got sniped with a big red button a couple of times, and he somehow wants to have that. Why not go for Aegis though? But I could see actually the Crucible working more for the team as well, so no one is really going for Aegis, especially not versus Jewel. More
as long
probably
as Fuji doesn't get stunned. As long as he gets stunned, like, he's not going to die. And then that goes the whole wombo combo of Team HC. I'm actually surprised they're not running, like...
Just towards the Vein Crystal of Team
Oh, no, sorry. No, I meant, like, instead of Kath running, like, Cruel or running Koshka or just someone with a longer, more guaranteed stun.
I mean, what I don't get, Palmatoro could just backport. Could just use his Kaku and just go... Why did he backport there? I don't agree with Best Celeste EU backporting there. That's just... Well, he's probably just... Oh, he got an infusion. There we go.
Oh, he got a little bit of Pearson there too. And he's back to the party, and Fuji, if he gets locked down, it's going to be over. And here comes a stun, and here comes the death. Big red button comes in. Iraqi Zorb takes a little bit of damage from it, and he should fall with Palmatoro in hot pursuit. Gave Izzle trying to run.
No chance.
I get slowed.
I mean, he still can run. He can, even if he's going to survive that, which he won't, but...
He can't stop them from pushing the base down.
There's nothing he can do about it. This is GG.
All right, so Team HC, they get to the finals yet again. They did it in Cup number 6. They played against Red Team 1. They unfortunately lost. They did it in Cup 4 where they won against Red Team 1. And they've done it against, well, they did it with... They did it in Cup 2 against Collab, where they got 2nd place. So, game there actually quite a few times, and this should actually put them into 2nd place, where Collab will now fall behind in terms of points overall. Well done by them, though. They kept their composure. They played well, and once they finally realized, or once they finally got, you know, Best Celeste enough damage, they were able to pull those fights off.
Is that actually the first time we are seeing... Oh, we are seeing probably NKN versus HC, and now called NKN.
So we're seeing Unknown against... wait, so what are you trying to say?
Unknown versus Unknown.
I'm still calling Team HC until the admins have finally ruled it. Yeah, so we'll see. But it's going to be interesting. Unknown up against Team HC. Unknown, first time getting back to the finals since the first cup. Where, again, they ended up beating Red Team 2. But, guys, we're going to head to a quick little break. So they put us back on the screen. I'm not sure exactly how long the break should be. It shouldn't be too long, considering that the other semifinals already finished, and they should be ready to play. I think it's going to be about 5-10 minutes for Team HC to get a little break, a little breather in. But when we do come back, we'll be bringing you the finals for cut number 7. We'll see you in, hopefully, guys, hopefully, knock on wood, 5 to 10 minutes.